here to put the best in each of our residents. And it's like a holistic approach, but person-centered.
We make a difference, we bring joy, and we add spark.
It's about advocating for others. It's such a privilege and an honor.
What you can do for them, being able to communicate. It's about making sure that people feel valued.
Creating meaningful connections and enhancing quality of life.
Our magic lies in connecting with others and letting them know they're never too late.
We are called to understand.
We spread aroha, we spread love.
We see the best in people.
We make dreams happen.
We are the ambassadors of passion and purpose.
We are hard workers.
We are meaning makers.
Kia ora, everyone. Good evening once again, and happy Tuesday. How are you, everybody? How are
Taco
you?
Tuesday.
And Kristine.
Oh, good. It's only Tuesday.
Yeah, and it's only Tuesday. Welcome once again to our live Kōrero sessions. And it's a beautiful month of May as we welcome May and bid farewell to a beautiful April that has been. I think let us begin our gathering, our session tonight with a blessing. So if I can invite everyone that is joining us, as well as our presenters, our Kōrero mates tonight, to begin with a blessing. So if we can all put ourselves in a respectful place. Kia hora te marino, kia whakapapa po namu te moana, he hurahi matatu e te rangi nei, aroha atu, aroha mai, tato I tato katoa, which means, may peace be widespread, may the sea be like greenstone, a pathway for us. Let us give love, receive love, show respect for each other, bind us together. Amen. Amen. So once again, good evening, everyone, and we are so glad that you can join us tonight, or whether you're watching via recording. We hope that you are just well, warm, and happy in your space there. So, Orquidea, how are you tonight?
Yes, no, pretty good. I was super excited and, driving like Fast and the Furious to be online on time today, and super excited to be talking to all of you again, and, having a beautiful Kristine joining us today.
Thank you.
And having wonderful conversations about what May is about.
That's nice.
All right. How about you, Kristine? How was your day and how are you?
Same thing with Orquidea. With Orquidea, just driving like Fast and the Furious in the back roads, trying to make it to our podcast tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're so glad that you're here safe and sound.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. So before we start with our conversation for tonight, which is we are going to be talking about exciting topics again, about our role and about the importance of what we do. I'd just like to go around and catch up with the things that are happening in our space as diversional and recreational therapists. So we would just like to give a big shout out to our regional support groups that are really doing the massive works on the ground, helping, supporting our diversional and recreational therapists. Yes. Last night, we have seen the West Auckland support group doing their soap making workshop, and it was a very, very beautiful and timely gathering, especially for Mother's Day that is coming up. And the regional support group leaders, if you're watching, please check your emails, because there is an email going around about a meeting for May, exclusive for regional support group leaders. We also have our conference, of course. Early Bird has now officially closed, and we are have a very, very exciting registration that is, people that have already registered. But don't worry, for those that haven't had the early bird special, you can still register up to June 13. So you still have time. And we would like to just let you know that if you need help in getting support from your management, with a with a letter or an explanation why it is important for your practice to be attending these knowledge exchange and this beautiful gatherings in our national conference, please send an email to either the secretary, president, or the treasurer, or the vice president, and we will be helping you out. So I think that's pretty much it for our society. What are we going to be talking about tonight, Orquidea?
Wow. Okay, so tonight we are going to be talking not just to the fact that it's autumn, and if you have been following up the news, we have a snow already, and it's getting colder. So I am assuming that it's getting a little bit hard to get out of bed in the mornings. So that's all good. And look, I believe that it's a good time, given that it's May, to talk about Mother's Day, but at the same time to talk about how Mother's Day, although it's celebrated in May in New Zealand, and brings a lot of meaningful celebrations, we also need to be aware of the complexity about these sort of celebrations. So we're going to be talking about inclusivity. We're going to be talking about how Mother's Day is celebrated for different cultures. We're going to be talking about being trauma informed and how diversional and recreational therapy can show up in real, meaningful, and responsive ways.
Oh, amazing. Yes, I think that is something very exciting that we are going to be discussing tonight. So we'll just say hi to our few people that have joined us, and if you're joining us, please feel free to interact and engage with us through the comment section. If you have any questions, please write them down, and we will try our best to read them through. So I just like to greet again my ex-girlfriend, who is my wife now. I'm watching our top fan, always watching. Hi, tatay. Tatay is dad in Filipino. Winnie Campo Studio, good evening, guys. Hello from Waikato. Hi, Waikato, and we hope that you are really safe and good there. And Anna Jones, hello all. Hi, Anna Jones. Glad that you can join us tonight. Right, Kristine, let's talk about Mother's Day and celebrating it with sensitivity.
Okay, so Mother's Day. So Mother's Day is really beautiful for many. I am a mother and I enjoy
Yay.
it so much. But at times it is painful as well. Being a mother has its ups and downs. You know, um, it's not all glitters out there. There are struggles, and it's just I'm talking about myself right now. But when you go at work now, we all majority of us work in aged care, right? So our residents, they miss being mothers. Our residents, I feel like they also miss their children. Not a lot of them visit their loved ones, or not a lot of them have visitors, right? Some of them may have also lost their children before them. Um, yeah, it's just motherhood is a strong. There's a sense of power in it, being a mother,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, well,
And that
and
that
so
topic, Kristine, is really, a little bit complex. No, we cannot just
yes,
box it into one container that says Mother's Day is a celebration, so it has to be happy, because there's so many
no,
layers to it. Sometimes,
that's right.
yeah, as you've mentioned, grieving a loss of a child or someone that is trying to conceive or trying to be pregnant for
Yes.
so long. Mother's Day is
Mm-mm.
painful for them, right? And we
Mm-hmm.
have to be sensitive to these residents, to these staff, and to the people, other stakeholders that experience this on this very special day, but yeah, very complicated day as well. Mm.
Yeah, and
Your
also,
thoughts?
also, let's say the staff members,
Yeah.
some of them or the residents, not all get along well with each other, right?
Mm.
So it's like it's sort of difficult when you go and greet them, Happy Mother's Day, but then, oh, I haven't seen my children for so long.
That's
They
right.
haven't really talked to me. So how do we approach that, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
delicate. It's a bit delicate, yeah. But we want
That's
it to
right.
be happy. We want it to be more fulfilling for them, whether their children are still there or not. We want we want to be their children. No, not really, not in that sense, but to fill that void
That gap.
somehow. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Your
And
thoughts,
oh,
Orquidea?
Oh wow, look, I tautoko absolutely everything that Kristine is saying, and I believe that we also need to be mindful about what is the meaning of mother in all the different contexts.
mm,
Um, I think it is important to recognize the diverse ways that motherhood can manifest. For example, in my culture, we celebrate, mothers, stepmothers, foster moms, grandmothers, auntie, figures that can be nurturing, that might have a nurturing, modeling nature. It might be a single mom, it might be, uh, you know, uh, a mom of a pet, which is becoming more frequent.
Mm.
However, when Kristine was talking about Mother Day is hard, I think we have to remind ourselves that in our role, it's being present, and also to keep always in mind that, yeah, Mother's Day, it's a happy occasion for a lot of people, but at the same time it can be hard. It can be,
mm,
for those moms whose children die, for moms that probably are estranged from the kids, people that were adopted, the death of your parenting partner, the death of a sibling whom you share your mom, people struggling with infertility, people whose mom or a mother figure has died, um, people that are estranged from their own mothers, maybe
Mm.
moms who made an adoption plan or legally released a child, people that cannot have kids and they wanted to have kids, the death of someone who made you feel special as a mom, and maybe all the other ways that Mother's Day means hurting. So it's not only happiness, but something that I also would like to bring into the conversation, Kristine and AJ,
mm,
and anyone that might be listening, is that when we are working with people, whether it is in the disability sector, in mental health, in the public hospital, with older people, it's about keeping in mind that, yes, we might be celebrating Mother's Day in New Zealand in May. However, that doesn't mean that everyone that you are supporting celebrates Mother's Day in May.
in May,
So,
yeah.
for example, I can think about Thailand, right? They celebrated in August. I can think about Indonesia. They celebrated in December. I can think about Nepal. They normally do it in April or May. I can think about South Korea. They do it in May. So we have to be mindful about the celebrations that we're doing, and how can we bring equity and equality depending on the situation when we are celebrating Mother's Day. Are we celebrating Mother's Day just in May because that's the day that we celebrate Mother's Day
Mm,
in New Zealand? Or are we also going to be celebrating Mother's Day if I am looking after someone who is from a different country, let's say Costa Rica, and they celebrate Mother's Day in August? And I'm going to
mm,
maybe do some recognition for that lady that was born in a different country. and also being, I think, mindful of the sort of celebrations that we are delivering. What is it important for them? Is it just having a high tea, or is it maybe people that are used to flowers and or a handmade card, or a group picture with everyone together, or a meal, or a dinner, or a breakfast? So I think there's a lot of food for thought for diversional and recreational therapies in New Zealand. So that would be what I would like to share with you guys.
Me.
Absolutely brilliant, and that is actually, I would like to emphasize and highlight what Orquidea said, that not because it is May and it's just Mother's Day and it's on your calendar and it's part of your requirement, you just deliver it as is without, with thoughtlessness, without extra thought of how to facilitate it. And I remember one of my, I'll just say, people that I support, that his plan was to celebrate in an all men's, because it so happened that Mother's Day will be during the all men's day, where because he's working in a and if he's watching right now, he will be smiling, but I'm not gonna say her name, don't worry. It's in an all men's club, and the resource manual said that Mother's Day, what you can do is high tea celebration, So Mother's Day so happened fell on an all men's club day, where all men will be gathering on that day service. So although the resource manual said high tea celebration, I challenged him, and I reminded him that, do you think that that's meaningful for your residents? I know that that's the resource manual saying. I know that it's Mother's Day today, so that's what you're gonna be doing. But high tea for an all men's club, So it doesn't mean that that's the celebration. We'll just have to do it without extra thought. So there are different activities and there are different ways to deliver it, whether it's a celebration or a commemoration. As long as the meaning is the foundation, the meaningfulness of the celebration will always be the bottom line, eh?
Yeah, the meaningfulness of yeah, that's right. The celebration also, and most importantly, and how we recognize the mothers, and to give hands down to the mothers. Yeah. Yeah. And also not to forget, like, I'm a migrant. I'm away from home. My mom's all the way back home, and there's a lot of us who are like that. We are away from our mothers, or our children are away from us. It's really really hard for some of them. So yeah, whatever way we can celebrate Mother's Day, then let's just do it. It doesn't need to be just IT.
Kapay. So what are the activities that we can brainstorm, we can think of for celebration with meaning?
How about seedling planting, something different, like planting some seeds, or then watch it grow. It's like you're mothering the seed, something like that. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always like celebrations that include the staff and all the staff, not just the residents, because we are a family there, we are a community. So if you involve the staff, I think that really draws more meaning, that and the engagement, not just to the residents, but everyone involved in your home or in your in facilities that you are working, whether it's a residential care, aged care, or disability, involving everyone.
And it's more fun because they get
absolutely
they get involved, they get into, like, they get curious, what are we doing? Oh, come and join us. Come and join us.
Yeah. And more people will be taking care of the chairs, not just you. Right? Moving the chairs.
And
yeah, that's a strategy. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for that. I think that would relate much to holistic engagement. So that, just like what we did for that all men's club thing. So instead of a high tea, I challenged the DT and said that what are the other things that you you can think of. So they did the thank you tree for not their mothers per se, but even the women that have stood as nurturing nurturing individuals in their lives. And believe it or not, there are a lot of when you open it up like that it's not just mothers, you know, biological mothers. There are a lot of aunties that have stood as mothers in their niece and nephew's life. They might not necessarily have children of their own, but they were so mothering and nurturing to their niece and nephews. Yeah. So Elea suggested spa day. Spa day, absolutely, and pampering session for the moms that have their hands very tired from all the household chores and all that. Pamper day is always a good idea for them. Thank you for that, Elea. And we would like to say hi to Karen Brown as well and Lorraine joining us tonight. Right. So yes, that's Lorraine and Karen and Elea. Thank you for joining us and engaging in our comment section. So let's proceed to our next discussion, which is trauma-informed therapeutic practices for our role as diversional and recreational therapists. So this is it, guys. So this year we are really challenging all diversional and recreational therapists to step beyond the comfort zone and say that we are just, you know, facilitating games, planning activities, planning events. We are therapists, so we are therapeutic. Allied health that would really help in the holistic well-being of our residents. So really challenge yourself to continue to fill in your kete with the skill set. So what is trauma-informed practice in diversional and recreational therapists? And I'm pretty sure many of us are already doing this and we're just not recognizing it. So this is actually the practice that means that we are creating a safe environment, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, and culturally safe environment for our clients, residents, that involves understanding many people, especially in aged care and disability support, that they carry unseen wounds. So when you say unseen wounds, these are, you know, past experiences or lived experiences that actually have traumatized them and have hurt them, that they may just be masking for with layers of, you know, self-defense. And before you're able to really completely understand the trauma, you have to peel those layers of defenses. So recognizing signs of distress can be attributed in your awareness of trauma. So that's trauma-informed practices. If you're just really being aware that each people has their own story, and peeling layers to understand their story would make you connect to them some more, and you would make them understand them some more, that sometimes behavior such as withdrawal, agitation, emotional outbursts can be responded with empathy rather than judgment, if you understand that it comes from a space of trauma, and it comes from a space of previous hurt.
Yeah.
That is absolutely right. Yeah.
Yes, and I think it's super important, you know, in our roles, and I have seen it in practice. Diversional and recreational therapists do a beautiful job, because they do take the time to stop, and instead of focusing on what's wrong with you, the therapeutic recreation specialists, they actually focus on what happened to you, and by not only adopting this practice, but really being mindful, and not only empathy but compassion, we have the ability to avoid that re-traumatizing again. And one of the things why I absolutely, you know, love the work we do, it's because we really focus on the core principles of what does it mean to be trauma-informed and how to have that approach. We get to know the person, but at the same time, we understand what is safety from the point of view of the person. We facilitate these environments where we connect with a person, that we make them feel secure. And when we make someone feel secure, then we have the ability to influence for them to be free from harm, and to also treat the harm through meaningful activity. Another beautiful thing, and I know that you guys do it, it's about we have that ability to connect through wordlessness, and then we are quite transparent in the way that we have open communication with people, we have clear expectations, we have consistent actions. And that is really important when we are supporting someone that probably has been through trauma. And look, and let's be real. I haven't come across another person who hasn't experienced a level of trauma in their lives. Okay. I think the difference in this case is that we are working with people that require care and support, and we become even more mindful of that. But we also have to be aware about peer support, how we recognize the value of these individuals with lived experience, and how we continue to foster that safety, that trust, and most importantly, that hope. How diversional and recreational therapies also have that strong collaboration focus. How we have this passion for empowering people and being the voice and supporting people to make choices. How we also understand about, recognizing historical trauma, recognizing cultural bias, recognizing gender inequalities, recognizing racism, and how we have the ability to provide that cultural, responsive, and respectful therapeutic recreation service. So there's a lot of value on what we have to offer. But it's more about having the ability to understand that we are advocating for someone and we have to do the right thing, even when no one is watching you.
That's absolutely right, Orquidea. And just to add to that, while we're advocating as diversional therapists, while we're advocating for them, um, I've forgotten, and I'm sorry I've forgotten his name, but we've attended like a workshop or seminar wherein he said listening from the inside, not just from the outside, right? Because it's so easy. Oh, like keep quiet there. You can easily say shush, but then we haven't really looked inside. We haven't really known the person from inside. Yeah, so that's really important. I believe so. So that we can understand
Absolutely.
what the trauma is.
Yeah,
What the
and
person is
I
going through.
always would like to say that one of the foundation of our practice is understanding that there is no one size fits all strategy for our for our clients and the people that we support, because what may work for one will not necessarily work for everyone else, and that
They're
is
all
why
individualized.
individualization, and really taking time to converse with them, connect with them individually, and understanding each and individual person that you actually support is very, very important. And that's how you peel the layers and get to know the person. But of course, that's easier said than done, because our one-on-ones are always frowned upon, and I always have a fight with managers that are questioning the one-on-one times that I am encouraging my DTs to DRTs to do. How is your one-on-one time, Kristine, on your
It's difficult because we're looking, let's say, in just the hospital area, rest home / hospital area. There's like 63 residents there, and you'd like to know them from inside, right? And how are you gonna do that?
Yeah. But I
Without
think that
any more. Yeah, but as much as we can, even if it's just 10-15 minutes every
that's
day,
right.
note it down, and then go to
Yeah,
the next person the next day. Even if you visit, let's say, a maximum 5 people in a day.
that's
And
right.
if you take note of those things, you'll see the difference if when you start facilitating your activities or therapeutic recreational activities with them.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And really understanding them that for some gentle music is what they want. For some, it's the lively, stimulating music.
That's right.
For some, they would want the private conversation. Others would want a group Kōrero and a public speaking setting. So it's really getting to know them and giving them that choice and space, whatever works for them. Hey.
Yeah, it's important we offer them choices. Yeah.
100%. I mean, we are not obviously trauma therapists, but it's about recognizing and upholding the mana that we also have in our profession, because we do have a lot of mana. Our mahi is deeply therapeutic, and this is where we are using our creativity all the time, and we have that sort of mentality where we can easily adapt things and being flexible and you know, we live outside of the box. Yeah. So it's quite challenging sometimes when you have to follow a set of bullet points and you know that that's not going to work because that's a blanket approach and every single one of us is unique. So yeah, I think it is definitely important when we are talking about these sort of celebrations, special celebrations, to really be aware about what we're doing and to educate ourselves a little bit more, you know, to keep doing research, to keep learning and relearning, because every single human that we are supporting is quite unique. I mean, what AJ likes, I don't like. What Kristine likes, maybe I also like, right? And it's about finding the common ground. Yeah.
We gotta believe in ourselves. We gotta keep in mind that we need to do those researches and studies so that the passion that we have for this role, that for our role, will remain, if not go more, not decline, but like
will continue to burn.
Yeah.
That's right. Like, that is just beautiful. Yeah, and I'm very excited to just really every time that we talk about this with like-minded people, with passionate people like in the same table that are talking about the role, it's just getting me motivated. So yeah, well done, guys. So as we try to explore the beautiful and events in May and beyond that we wanted to make inclusive and sensitive. Before we do that, we will say hello again to the people that have engaged in our comment section. Starting with Estelita Malikdem. Good evening, everyone. She says, hi, Estelita, to you and your family. I saw you were, I think, in a holiday. Yes, I hope you enjoyed. Annalise Stain. Hello there, Annalise. It's always nice to hear from you and nice to join. Nice for you to join us. And Sue Kushni, she says, good evening to everyone. Hi, Sue. How are you? And it's a beautiful baby that you're holding there in your profile photo. So if it's yours, happy Mother's Day, and happy Mother's Day soon. Anyway. So Kristine, what are we looking up for the month of May? What are we excited about?
Oh, we've got quite a few. Mother's Day, International Nurses Day, which is the day after Mother's Day. So it's like, whew, we gotta keep things on the roll. That's on the May 12th. So we also have the International Day of Families, May the 15th. And we've got the Pink Shirt Day on the 17th of May. When is Pink? What is it? The Pink Ribbon Day for breast cancer. I think it's also on the
October.
October. All right.
You are a little. You are a few months ahead.
Early.
Because it's
I think the Pink Shirt Day is Pink Shirt Day is anti-bullying campaign. And if I can just say that Pink Shirt they website, they have lots of resources. So for those that are looking for resources, the website is very, very, very helpful. So yeah, International Nurses Day and International Day of Families. Can I just add when we're celebrating International Nurses Day, because I think this is one of the first staff appreciation day that we will be celebrating in the year. Can we just remind our managers that when we celebrate International Nurses Day, we remind them that we should celebrate all the other staff throughout the
That's
year
right.
as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I always remind my managers that, like, for example, if they give a $100 gift card for nurses, because sometimes they get too excited, they give a $100 gift card to the nurses. No offense to the nurses. I was a registered nurse once as well. I love nurses. My wife is a nurse, but it's not all about the nurses. You know, I always remind the managers that when you're giving them $100 gift card for International Nurses Day, remember, if be ready if you are able to give $100 gift card as well to the caregivers during Caregivers Day, the DTs during the DRT week, awareness. So it has to be for all, not just for one role, right? And sometimes that managers will only know what they know, right? So and when we advocate for that and we tell them respectfully, they sometimes they also listen, you know. So most of my managers that I tell also listens, and then they make a thought that actually, yes, that you're correct. So I will have to budget it that everybody will have to receive the same gift card. So it becomes $60 now for everybody, instead of $100 for the nurses and then just a chocolate for the other staff. You know, that's not inclusive. You know, so that's something that I wanted to share with everyone as well. All right, other fun activities that I want to share for May on my script. We have Sue said that it was her grandson that she was holding. So, but still, happy Mother's Day, Sue. On May, we will be celebrating World Tea Day, and for some of our residents, tea is their cup of tea, is their is their life. So that's a nice celebration as well. And the world,
AJ, but that was a big celebration for us. Remember, we were once the tea ladies.
That's right. Yeah, I will give the floor to Orquidea quickly to explain that. What's the tea lady all about, Orquidea?
Well, just going down to memory lane, when before what is now therapeutic recreation became diversional therapy, back in the 90s, we used to have a role in New Zealand. It was an official role, the tea lady. And they were ladies that were working in offices, and they used to go around and providing tea. And it was about, boosting the morale, keeping people connected. And when this role was established in the 80s, the tea ladies were the first ones to go into care communities to volunteer. And they were the first people that identified, okay, we have older adults living in care communities, and they seem like becoming isolated. We were already talking about loneliness and social isolation back in the 1980s. And they became calling themselves activities coordinators, diversional therapists. So that's, a fundamental part of hospitality, a cup of tea. So that's actually a beautiful part of our history as diversional and recreational therapists. So World Tea Day, okay? Let's think about ourselves too.
That's right. Let's celebrate that, and let's include our history. Absolutely beautiful. We have also the World Mount Everest Day on May, and I think that Everest represents not just the mountain, but also it represents problems and trials and challenges of our lives that we have overcome. So that's one way to commemorate and facilitate that event, as well as the Samoan Language Week for May. So really wonderful events in May. And Annalise has made a comment that today is actually the anniversary of King Charles' coronation day, and I understand that one of the facilities that I am helping has a resident that is a big fan of the royal family, so they actually celebrated it today. So thank you for that, Annalise, for reminding us. And for those that have residents that are fan or are really following the royal family, you still have time. Just say it's a belated celebration tomorrow if you haven't celebrated it today. Yeah, so we have lots of things to look forward for May. What are the reminders that we can have for these celebrations, Orquidea?
Well, celebrations. invitations. I think it's more about invitations. Remember, we're all about choices. It's not about, hey, it's Mother's Day, we're going to have high tea. And everyone should be attending. It's going to be okay for you. It's not about that. It's about extending the invitation. It's about being intentional when we are doing that. And, get to know your residents. Please keep in mind that not everyone will be celebrating Mother's Day on this, over the weekend. And also not everyone will be celebrating Mother's Day in the way that we envisage they will be celebrating or acknowledging Mother's Day.
Kapay. Thank you very much. Annalise also reminds us that this week, actually, we are celebrating Sign Language Week. So, especially for those that have good affiliation with sign language or a connection with the sign language community, we have to tautoko that and also acknowledge that. So thank you for that. Wow, guys, the time has flown, and as much as we still want to just talk to each other, we have to prepare dinner as well because it's Tuesday and we have a long week to go. But closing character, I would say that personally, my greatest takeaway for tonight's Kōrero, our conversation tonight, is that trauma-informed practice is part of diversional and recreational therapy, and it's about seeing what is not said. And I think that's beautiful, and responding to whatever the behavior or whatever that is shown on the outside appearance of our of the people that we support with care and compassion, because deep inside they may be carrying traumas that we are yet to discover. So it is up to us to discover. And that's, I think, my greatest takeaway again from tonight's session. How about you, Kristine?
For me, so every smile might hide a story. So we have to really be careful on how we are dealing with people. We must really understand where they're coming from. So when we are planning our program, so let's think about it with both the joy and gentleness, and just really be careful on how we plan our things, our programs. Because everyone might be hiding a story somewhere there, whether it be happy or sad. So just be mindful.
And I yours just Orquidea? For me is so this may soften your eyes and be inclusive in action. Okay, intention is it's a good thing, yet it might not be enough. Just it's about compassion, which means take action and be proud of what you're doing, because diversional and recreational therapies are actually motherly in nature.
Absolutely. So that is all the time that we have for tonight. Thank you very much, Orquidea and Kristine. And in behalf of all the members of the New Zealand Society of Diversional and Recreational Therapists Incorporated, as well as the people that are benefiting from or connected with the NZSDRT, we would like to say Happy Mother's Day to Orquidea and Kristine that are here today, and I will be giving you a virtual flowers for you guys, and to all the mothers of our community and the people that have stood as a nurturer, as a provider, as a cultivator. Happy Mother's Day to you all. So if you allow me, can we all put ourselves in a respectful place and let us end our session with a blessing. Kafakaira te tapo kia watea ai te ara kia turuki whakataha ai, kia turuki whakataha ai. Haumie huye tai kiye, which means restrictions are now moved aside so that we can return to our everyday tasks in our everyday lives, enriched, unified, and blessed. Amen. Amen. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Good night.